So problem number 1 on page 53 is y equals x squared minus 4x plus 4. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to find the axis of symmetry, which we called AOS. So that's x equals negative b over 2a. My a value is equal to 1. My b value is negative 4. My c value is equal to 4. Please realize we're not dealing with the c value yet, but we're going to continue to label it because it will eventually use it. So I'm going to get x equals negative 4 over 2 times a, and a happens to be 1. So negative 4 is 4 over 2. 4 over 2 reduces to 2. So x equals 2. This is called the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry is a vertical line that'll go right down here. Okay? And that just means that that's what I could fold over. My vertex lives someplace on there. We don't know exactly where the vertex lives yet, but we can do that. So then we want to find the vertex. And the vertex is negative b over 2a, which we just found, and plug in for x to solve for y. Okay, so I'm going to get 2, because that was negative b over 2a. And if I plug 2 in, I get 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 4. 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 plus 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 minus 8 is 0. So I get 2 comma 0. So that just happens to fall right there. That's the point. 2 comma 0. We know that our vertex opens up because my a value is positive. And now I'm going to use my A135. And of course that keeps going. So my a value is 1. So we're just going to pattern graph as 135. And again, if you get this pattern graphing down, it's a very simple thing. It's a very simple thing to do. Pattern means it happens over and over and over. So from this point, I'm going to go right 1, up 1. So if I go to the right, I'm going to go, that gives me 3 comma 1, or I'm going to go left 1, up 1. So that gives me 1 comma 1. And then the next value would be 3. So from here, I'm going to go right 1, up 3. So that gets to 4 comma 4. If I go left 1, up 3, I get to 0 comma 4. And so with all of that information, we have our parabola that is drawn. Nice parabola opening upwards. Any questions on that? All right, moving on. Second problem. Paste. Oh, shoot. I thought I copied that last one. Let me reduce this down. Okay, so here's my xy axis, and so I have y equals, this is number 2 on page 53, so 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. So it looks like my a value is 2, my b value is 4, my c value is negative 3. I'm going to find the axis of symmetry by using x equals negative b over 2a. So I'm going to get negative 4 over 2 times 2, which is negative 4 over 4. So I get an axis of symmetry of negative 1, because negative 4 over 4 is negative 1. So that negative 1, there's my axis of symmetry. Again, my vertex lives someplace on there. I can fold over on top of it. So let's get to the vertex. Again, the vertex is negative b over 2a. Plug in to x. So I'm going to get negative 1, comma, well, if I plug negative 1 in here, I get 2 times negative 1 squared plus 4 times negative 1 minus 3. Negative 1 squared is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times negative 1 is negative 4 minus 3, so 2 minus 4 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So I get to 1, negative 5, which is down here, and that's my vertex. My pattern graph is going to be 2 times 135. So I'm going to multiply 2 by everything, so I get 2, 6, 10. So from this point here, my vertex, I'm going to go right 1 up 2. I'm going up 2 because it was a 2 there. So that's going to give me the point 0, negative 3. If I go left 1 up 2, I get to negative 2, negative 3. And if I go right 1 up 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I get to 1, comma 3. Left 1 up 6, get to here, which is, what is that, negative 3, comma 3. And then I have my parabola. This one stretches a little bit vertically because you have a value of 2 out in front.
Wait, hold on, Mr. Sterling. What you get the 2, 6, 10?
Where did I get the what? The 2, 6, 10? Because the pattern graph is A times 1, 3, 5, and my A value is 2. So I'd multiply 2 times 1, 3, and 5 to get 2, 6, 10. And I can't use the 10 because it's going to go off my graph too quickly. A-okay, my friends? All right, I'm going to move on. Let's go with paste. Again, I got too big of a graph. Okay, this one looks like I get, oops, y equals negative x squared plus 4. So my a value is negative 1. There's not a b value there, so I'm going to put a 0 in. My c value is equal to 4 because there's not an x term. That's my b value. So I'm going to find my axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a. So I get negative 0 over 2 times negative 1. So 0 over any number is 0, so x equals 0. So that's my value right here. Okay, so then I want to find my vertex, which is negative b over 2a, comma, plug in x. So I'm going to get 0, comma, something. So if I plug 0 in here, I get negative 0 squared plus 4. That just gives me 4. So 0, comma, 4. It's right there. That's my vertex. My pattern graph is going to be a times 1, 3, 5. Well, my a value is negative 1, right? So that negative 1 means it's going to give me negative 1, negative 3, negative 5. So this opens upside down. So from here, I'm going to go right 1, down 1. So that takes me to the point 1, comma, 3. Left 1, down 1. So that takes me to the point negative 1, comma, 3. And then I'm going to go right 1, down 1, 2, 3. So that takes me to the point 2, comma, 0. I'm going to go left 1, down 3. That takes me to negative 2, comma, 0. And there's my parabola. Just like that. Okay, the big thing on that one is recognizing that when you're missing a term, it has to be 0 if it's missing. Missing means nothing, nothing means 0, and that's what it is. Okay, last of the problems. Paste. Again, I keep doing this enormous graph. I should have known better where I copied the reduced version, but I didn't, so forgive me, please. All right, so number 4, we have y equals negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 7. My a value is negative 3, my b value is 12, my c value is negative 7. So I'm going to get my axis of symmetry, AOS, x equals negative b over 2a, which is going to be negative 12 over 2 times negative 3. which is negative 12 over negative 6. Negative over negative is positive. 12 over 6 is 2. So my axis of symmetry is at 2. So then I'm going to find my vertex, my turning point. So that's going to be 2 comma, plug that 2 in. So I'm going to get negative 3 times 2 squared plus 12 times 2 minus 7. 2 squared is 4. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12 plus 24 minus 7. Negative 12 plus 24 is 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. So I get 2 comma 5, which is right here. My pattern graph is going to be my A value times 135. My A value happens to be negative 3. That negative means it's going to go upside down. So my pattern graph is going to be negative 3, negative 9, negative 15. So we're going to go off the graph pretty quickly. So from here, I'm going to go right 1, down 3. So I get to the point 3 comma 2. Left 1, down 3. So I get to 1 comma 2. I think we can squeeze one more in there. So I'm going to go right 1, down 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So that takes me to 4 comma negative 7. And then if I go left 1, down 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I get to 0, negative 7. So I definitely have enough points there to establish my parabola. It opens downward because my A value is indeed 0. And we go from there. Okay? Questions on those? That's what the homework looked like. Okay? Now you should have the notes from that I gave you as part of that big old packet. If you go back to it, it's going to be GQF number 3 using the pattern graph. So we're still doing the exact same thing. Okay? So have that out and let's do it. So first thing, I know my A value is 1, my B value is 4, my C value is 7. I'm going to find the axis of symmetry, which is x equals negative b over 2a, which is negative 4 over 2 times 1. So I get x equals negative 4 over 2, so x equals negative 2. So negative 2 is like here. Oops. Ah, come on, change to that. And then I'm going to take my negative 2, and I'm going to plug it into each. So I get negative 2 quantity squared plus 4 times negative 2 plus 7. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 minus negative 2 is negative 8 plus 7. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 7 is 3. So I get negative 2 comma 3, which is up here. And then my pattern graph is going to be A times 135. My A value is 1. So I'm going to get 1 times 135, which is just going to give me 135. The math look right? Yep. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go right 1, up 1. So that takes me to the point negative 1 comma 4. Left 1, up 1. That takes me to the point negative 3 comma 3. I think we're going to run out of room, so we're going to show that our parabola looks just like that. Okay? So again, these are the notes from the other day that I had given you in that big old packet. Can I move on?
Yes.
Let's see. Equation number 1 on homework. I don't know what that... So this one is not going to graph, but let's just find a few things. Let's find the axis of symmetry first, which is x equals negative b over 2a. My a value is 1, my b value is 10, my c value is negative 2. So I'm going to get negative 10 over 2 times 1. So I'd get negative 10 over 2. So that's negative 5. So my axis of symmetry would be negative 5. And then my vertex is going to be negative 5 comma something. So I'm going to take that negative 5, plug it in. So I get negative 5 squared plus 10 times negative 5 minus 2. So that gives me 25 minus 50 minus 2. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be negative 25 minus 2. So negative 27. So that's why we're not graphing it, because you got a vertex in kind of a crazy location, but it does happen. So negative 5 comma negative 27. All right, we're going to go ahead and graph this one. So my A value is equal to negative 1. My B value is equal to 6. My C value is equal to 2. My axis of symmetry is going to be negative B over 2A. So I'm going to get negative 6 over 2 times 1. So I'm going to get x equals negative 6 over 2 times negative 1, excuse me, over negative 2. So my axis of symmetry is going to be 3. Cool, so 1, 2, 3. My axis of symmetry lives somewhere along that kind of sort of bad vertical line. So I'm going to get 3 comma something. So I'm going to take that 3, plug it in. Now here's the thing. Because that negative is out there, it's not affected by the squared. Okay? So 3 squared is 9 with the negative. So I get negative 9 plus 18 plus 2. Negative 9 plus 18 is 9. 9 plus 2 is equal to 11. So I get 3 comma 11. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 3 comma 11 is like up here. Get that out of their way. So 3 comma 11. Some of you are showing up pretty darn late. All right, so my pattern graph is going to be negative A times 135. So this will open downward, so negative 1, negative 3, negative 5. So from here, I'm going to go right 1, down 1. So that would take me to 4 comma 10. Left 1, down 1. That would take me to 2 comma 10. And then keep going, so I'm going to go right 1, down 3. Left 1, down 3. So that would take me to 5. 10 minus 3 is 7, so 5 comma 7. And what is that, 1 comma 7. So there's plenty of points. Looks like that. Okay, so again, we're doing the exact same stuff. Label ABC, do x equals negative b over 2a, take that negative b over 2a, that's the x component of your vertex, plug it in, find the y value, and then go from there. All right, this one we're not going to graph, we're just going to go through it. So a equals negative 1, b equals 8, c equals negative 3. So x equals negative b over 2a. So I get negative 8 over 2 times negative 1. So I get negative 8 over negative 2. So that winds up being 4. So my axis of symmetry would be 4. In order to find my vertex, I'm going to plug 4 comma, and take that 4, plug it in. That negative out in front of the x squared is not affected by the squared. Okay, that's different than if you're plugging in a negative 4. Okay, so that gives me negative 16 plus 32 minus 3. Negative 16 plus 32 is 16. 16 minus 3 is 13. So that's where my vertex would exist. And again, this one we did not have to graph. All right, take a look at this one. What's my A value? What's my B value? What's my C value? Anyone paying attention?
The AB x squared.
Yeah, so what's A?
X 1.
1. What's B?
Negative 4.
What's B?
0, right?
0. Very good. And C?
Negative 4.
There you go. Good deal. Yeah, notice I don't have an x value. That's my b value is attached to x. So I get x equals negative b over 2a, which is negative 0 over 2 times 1. Oh, it gives me an axis symmetry of 0. That's fine. That just means this. My x-axis, or my y-axis, is what we're looking at. All right, so let's find the vertex. So I get 0, comma, something. We'll plug 0 in. So I get 0 squared minus 4. 0 squared, 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My pattern graph is a times 135. My a value is 1, so 1 times 135 is 135. So I'm going to go right 1, up 1. So that takes me to the point 1 comma negative 3. Oh, I forgot to put my vertex down here. 0, negative 4. Left 1, up 3. So that takes me to negative 1 comma negative 3. I could keep going. I'm going to go right 1, up 3. Right 1, up 3. So that takes me to 2 comma 0. Left 1, up 3. That takes me to negative 2 comma 0. And there's our parabola. All right, anything else? Ooh, that one, and okay, one left. All right. A value is equal to what? Close. It's what? Negative 1, perfect. B value? B value?
0.
Good. C value?
9.
There you go.
Negative 9.
Positive 9. That's positive right there, isn't it? So then I get x equals negative b over 2a. So I get negative 0 over 2 times negative 1. So that means just x equals 0. Oh, this is the same exact idea as that last one. My axis of symmetry is going to be the y-axis. Okay? So I'm going to find my vertex. So I'm going to go 0 comma something. So I get 0 squared plus 9. 0 squared, 0. 0 plus 9, 9. So I get 0, 9 up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a poor excuse. All right, my pattern graph is going to be a times 135. My a value is negative 1. So I get negative 1 times 135. That means my parabola is going to open down. So negative 1, negative 3, negative 5. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go right 1, down 1. So that takes me to 1 comma 8. Left 1, down 1. That takes me to negative 1 comma 8. Then I'm going to go right 1, down 3. So right 1, down 3. So I get to 2. 8 minus 3 is 5. Left 1 down. So that's going to give me negative 2 comma 5. And that should be enough for my parabola. And that, my friends, is exactly how you do these. So we're going to skip the number 2. And I will give you in your, and I'll put it on the Schoolage if you don't have the page, but you'll have to give me a little bit to get it there. So you're going to do graphing quadratic functions number 3. It's page 59. Don't do anything on it because it's not there. But on page 60, there looks like there's problems 1 through 6. So that's all you have to do. I'm not going to give you the extra problems on the first one, but that's what your homework will be for. That I'll check off on Tuesday or Wednesday. Sound all right? Do we have any questions about what I've done so far? I'm going to go ahead